Hi, good morning friends and welcome back to my channel. I hope wherever you are in the world you are making the great day. So let's start with the new learning. In my last video in CAN fundamentals I got very good responses from the people. Thanks for watching my video and keep watching. The video covers the details about the CAN protocol, what is the history up to the future trends, everything is covered in that video. But if it comes to the practical, how you can use that protocol and how the CAN frame looks and what are the different tool chain we use to analyze the data. So today I'm going to talk about that tool. So there are different tools in the market. One of them are the Vector CANalyzer tool, then interpret CS tool, that is the vehicle spy mostly people call it, and there is a pick tool. But out of that I'm going to talk you is about the CANalyzer, and sometimes the parent tool is called as a CAN OE tool. So I'll take you through this tool, why this tool is and what is the use of that tool, how you can use that tool, what is the online, offline and different data analysis windows which offers this tool to go through the CAN data. Before signing off or before jumping onto the technical details of this tool, I would request you all, please like, share and subscribe. Definitely this knowledge might be required to your colleague, your uh, friends as well as the students in the college. Please share. Thanks for watching my video. So let's start with the learning on this CANalyzer tool.
Okay, so let's start more about CANalyzer tool. So this is how the tool looks like. When I open this CANalyzer software, this is the user interface usually you see. Very important is that the measurement setup. When you come to the measurement setup, this window looks like. It's very easy to understand. So this is your actual hardware. If you plug the real-time hardware or any hardware interface to your laptop or your system, it shows its configuration. If I double click on this, it asks you for the baud rates for a specific channel. If I am dealing with channel 1, you need to set your baud rate. If you are with the channel 2, you need to set the baud rate. So now why it is showing the red? Because I'm offline. I have not connected the tool to my system. So that's what I am not able to view the hardware device or hardware settings of that tool. If I connect this red will get disappear and it will show me all CAN piggies as well as the channels where I'm going to assign it. So here you can set the baud rate for specific channel, and this is your actual hardware which you are connecting. This branch where you see the blurred send is a transmit branch where you can transmit the messages. This spot is called hotspot. This is called a selector. Either you can go for the offline mode or you can go for the online mode. Here, you just have to bring your cursor and double click on this. So this switch get connected to the offline. If you have a CAN log, you can double click on this, add the file here, and accordingly from the specific folder, you can add that file, select that folder, and uh, you can run the log file. Usually ASC file and the BLF file are very common files. This tool saves and you can read that file. And this is online mode where actual hardware is taking participation into the network and sending as well as receiving the CAN messages. This branch is a transmit branch. This is a selector where you can go offline and online. And this intersection is called the analysis windows. What are the different analysis windows? So CAN statistics window. Either you can double click on this or you can just here when it gets highlighted, you can click in that window. This window is usually used for calculating the bus load into the network. In my previous session, I talked about the bus load and what happens if the bus load goes beyond a certain limit of that network. The transmit error receive counter goes increasing. Then it enters into the passive state, then active state, and then it goes to the bus up state. Everything you can monitor here. You see transmit error count, receive error count. Is there any network error presents? Everything you can see in this statistics window. Which part is very important? Very important part is the bus load. If you are talking about the CAN1 channel, and if you are wanted to look for the CAN2, you can select the channel from here from the drop down, and you see what are the bus load actually currently available into the network. And once you run by hitting this lighting symbol, it shows whatever the minimum and the maximum touch during that entire duration of the log file or entire runtime. It also shows um, the average. So this is how it looks. So the statistics window is being used to calculate or to just observe the bus load, not to calculate, but observe. The tool itself calculate that, and you can observe the bus load. You can see any error or what are the chip state basically. Is it in the passive, active, or the bus substate? Everything is possible. You can easily observe that. So this is I can close this. Okay. So always remember, whenever if you feel I'm missing somewhere, I went into the something wrong window, just come to the analysis and simulation and click on the measurement setup. So this is the window, very important window. Trace window. This window is very important, and usually this window is used. This section shows you time of the messages. This section shows you the channel 1, channel 2. This shows the CAN message identifier. What is the name of that CAN message? Type of that frame actually, or the event. And it is a direction. Direction means either the message is a transmit from the tool or receive to the tool. If it is into the network and any other issues transmitting, then in this direction you can see in front of the specific message you can see RX. That means you are receiving that messages. Okay. DLC is the data length code. What is the length of that data presented in that frame? So DLC actually represent the data length, and here you can see the actual data. So this trace window is usually or frequently used uh, window where you can see any messages, any signal values. You can easily see that states of any issue, off state, on state, or the speed of the vehicle, anything. So frequently used trace window. Data. Here actually you see the data. If you are not interested in uh, looking for the states, you are interested in to see the values. Let's say you are interested to see the vehicle speed. You can add that signal here. Or let's say you are interested into looking for the torque. So what I can do, I can click on this section. Then this window will pop up based on your database file. You can look for, let's say I am interested in the torque. So I can see the torque value here. So whatever the torque value present, if I run this and if it is actually connected, now it is offline, but when it is online, it will show you. Very important, when you talk about the data or graphics window, you must have the database file. Now, how to create the database file? Usually, it is supplier's responsibility. If you are getting the ECU from one of the supplier, definitely supplier provides the CAN database file, which defines the meaning of the signal, meaning of the message, along with the periodicity, identifier, data length code, everything is defined in that database file. So how you can define, if you want to define your database file, I will cover into the different session, how you can create the signal, their attributes, then how can you set minimum, maximum values, and how you can add the signal, associate the signal to message, and how you can associate that message to a specific channel or specific network. So that I will cover into the next session. But when you are dealing with this data and the graphics window, you must have the database file ready. If you don't have a database, you cannot add specific signal to view here. That's not possible. So I'm coming back to the measurement window. So in the data window, you can actually see the value. Here, if the vehicle is running at 100 kmph, you can see that 100. And if you add, instead of torque, if you add the speed, you can see that value. You can add the multiple signals. So here I have added the torque, so it will show you in the unit of Newton meter, whatever the value present. If it is actually connected to the vehicle, actually connected to the network, if it is live, so that it will show that value. So for that, to view into the data, you should have the CAN database file, and you must be clear which signal you have to observe. Same for the graphics window. Graphics window is usually used for analyzing the malfunction. Suppose your vehicle speed is suddenly dropping, or torque of the engine is suddenly dropping or the battery current is suddenly falling down. If you know the dependency of that signal, you can add all the signals here. I'm just for showing, I'm adding multiple signals here. Just let's say max speed, and these signals are added. So, and with the help of this facility, you can zoom that portion, you can zoom the x-axis, you can zoom the y-axis, you can fit all the signals. So that's possible. You can have separate views. Accordingly, you can look for this, or you can go for study of the um, signals which you have added here. Okay, so here I can see I have split it into the separate. I want to see the torque and I want to see the differently the measured speed. So here I can add the cursor. This window is basically here you can add the cursor. If I add this cursor at the same instant where here, let's say torque was suddenly falling down. At the same time, what is happening with this max speed signal, or what is happening with the thermal temperature, thermal behavior, thermal component of this any system. So that way you can add multiple signals and you do the analysis. And beauty of this, you can zoom it up to very minimum level. You can zoom. You see this window. I'm using the cursor. I'm using mouse, the middle button, and just scrolling so that it is giving me the large scale on the x-axis, and that's possible on the y-axis as well. Here you can see that value. So this window is also important, but in case of the error debugging and all. Again, for the as like the data window and the graphics window, you need to have the database file. You must have the clarity, what signal you are going to monitor, what error you are going to debug. Apart from this, there are another window. This window is called logging window. This spot is called hotspot. If I double click here on the mouse, left key, left button, it gets disappeared. I can double click on this, it gets enabled. Also, you can use the spacebar from the your keyboard. If I press the space bar, this window get disabled. That means you will not see anything. This is disconnected basically. If I use spacebar, again it is connected. So login, why it is required? Suppose you are logging on the vehicle and you want to analyze later the performance of the vehicle or any algorithm you return, you can do that. You can connect the tool onto the vehicle, connect your specific channels according to the network, and you hit this run button and start logging. But before logging, you just have to enable this window. And here you set the path where you want to save. And here file formats. As I mentioned, the BLF and ASC file are very common files used by this tool. But apart from that, it can be possible to convert that into the MDF file, MF4. That's possible. And even you can export the file into the MATLAB file, that is MAT file, as well as you can export into the CSV file as well. That's possible. So this is how these all windows are used for analyzing the signals. Statistics used to see the statistics happening on the CAN network on a specific channel, bus load, any error state present. Trace, which gives enter a trace of all the messages. If you are connected to the network and having the 100 message, you can see the 100 messages with identifier, the frame, DLC, actual data field, and everything. In the data, you can actually look for the data. If you are interested in a specific value, you can look for that. In the login, you can log. Apart from this, if you want to add the two graphics window, if you at the same time, that's possible. Just right click on any of the window and you add, let's say I'm interested in the graphics window. So you see, I will minimize this, close this, come here, and you see that second graphics window is there. Earlier, this window was there. Same way for the data window, and you can add multiple windows. So I will remove this. I'm not interested in this window. So there is one another window. This is J1 and 300 DTC monitor window. This is very important, which gives you the DTC code as well, SPN, suspect parameter number, FMI count, and occurrence. It gives everything. So with the help of this code, you can see what error is presented to the network and who is the initiator of that error. And it also gives the history. If specific error occurred and that it disappeared in the history window, you can see that error. In the active, whatever the active error present into the network, that's possible. So everything is possible. You can see here, and all the DTs is presented, any freeze frame is there or something like that. So everything possible with the help of this um, J1N39 DTC monitor window. So again, as I said, it is a analysis window. Many times it is used, but most of the time it is used in the offline mode. But some of the users, if wanted to see the online error, they can see here easily. Usually here, if the error occurs, some DTC gets triggered and that specific node highlighted with a red spot. So you can easily identify that there is an error into the network. So I'm closing this window. So again, as I said, measurement setup is important. So I am coming here. So apart from that, what else is there? OBD monitor is there, the scanner is there. So logging block, I can already it is there. But if you want more logging window or if you want more trace window, that's possible. You can add the trace window as well. All these branches are called analysis windows. This is a selector, and this branch is called a transmit branch. But I explained earlier, data and the graphics windows, analysis windows are very useful when you have a database file. Where you can add the database file. Here you can add the database file. So you have to just click on the database. I already added, but I will remove this and I'll show you how you can add. Just come to the channel. If you are confident on my CAN1 channel, my engine is connected, my transmission is connected, my central body control is connected, or any other issue is connected. Specific to that ECU's database file you have to add. So I have a sample database file I will add here. On the channel 2, if your channel 2 of your hardware interface is connected to the specific network with the specific issues, add that specific database file here. So again, I don't have any specific because I'm not online. So I'm just adding the another database file here. So this is the window where you can add the database file. You just have to come to the channel, click on that, and then the right click of your mouse and the add database. Right click of your mouse and the add database file or replace the database file if you want. Again, as I said, if you feel like you're lost somewhere, you want to come to the main page, just hit on the measurement setup. So this is the measurement setup. And so this is the online mode. During the offline, what you have to do, you just have to use this selector and use this window. Here you can select the BLF file or any other file. If you have any other file format, you add that here and accordingly hit the run and it will start giving you the actual values. Whatever the statistics happening in that log, what was the behavior of bus load, what was the behavior of the error, state errors, or whatever the message is presented into that network, everything will be present here. So this is an offline mode and this is an online mode. This is a transmit branch. This is the actual device which you have connected. And this is an analysis windows. So this is very basic about the CANalyzer tool. So let's start talk about the online mode. So I will connect the hardware actually, and I'll show you how online you can transmit the messages. So this branch is basically used to transmit the message into the network. This part is called hotspot. Here, if I right click, you see the program node is there. Program node means you can use the CAPL scripting to analyze the message or do something on the signals and take the decision and transmit any another machine. That's possible. Everything you can do the programming here. Channel filter. If you are dealing with the two channels and want to apply the filter, you don't want to transmit or modify that specific message, that's possible. You can filter the channel, you can filter the event, and then you can use the interactive generator block. When I will go online, I will talk you on this CAN interactive generator block. This is very useful. If you want to send any dummy message to the ECU, that's possible. And it's the easiest way to send the message to the network and look for the behavior of or the responses from the ECU. Programming node is many times used for automation. If you want to perform same operations repeatedly and for a long duration, you can use the program node. That is called the CAPL scripting, CAN access programming language. I will cover that more into the detail later. I will prepare the separate video knowledge session on the CAPL scripting. So I covered the scan statistic trace window, data window, graphics window, DTC monitor, logging window, and here is one export option. Uh, so in the export, as I said, you can export into the different format as well. Let's say I have one of the file available. It's a sample file is available there, right? So, and if you want to export into the different format, you can go to the settings and it will ask you in which format you want that file. Okay, so you put down the settings, what the places you want. Do you want any periodicity specific? You can set that periodicity if you want in the mat file. What else you want? What are the time intervals you are looking for? So that way you can put everything to the specific interest. If you are interested in mat file, CSV file, or ASCII file, you can do that, and just have to um, save this so that it will show you or export your files. So actually, I don't have this database file associated with this log file. That's what it is not showing something here, but it will definitely save. So destination file. Now, if you see here, if I want to save this into the CSV, I will click on the CSV, just save, and I will just save. So some error is popped up that source file, and okay. So you have to select this. So I don't have the log file available, but this window is used to exports, and I have showed you how you can export. Right click on this, export, and here you put down your destination file. The question is, where is the source file? Actually, the source file comes from here. You have to add your source file here. Yeah. My suggestion is you run the first instance. Many times it is not required to run. It automatically takes that file as a source file, and here you can export that file into the CSV. What you have to do into destination file, you just have to um, drop down and select the option. But before selecting the option, as I said, here go for the advanced settings in these advanced settings. And if you are interested in the CSV, make sure that all settings are set, like what are the decimal places you are looking for, the intervals message you want to export. Automatically based on these settings, here, if you go for the CSV, whatever the settings you made here in the CSV file, it will take that, whatever the settings you have made. If you have put the interval of 1 second, accordingly into the CSV file, all the signals get exported into with a time interval of 1 second. So this is how it works. So I have covered the analysis window. I have covered the export. I have covered the different the selector and different in a very short way different send nodes which are available, send options, programming node, channel filter, and interactive generator block. So let's go online and look for more in detail about how interactive generator block can be used for sending the messages to the network. So just keep remember that I am not gonna connect this tool to the vehicle, but I will make sure that you can easily see how I can set up the driver to the specific channel once I will plug the hardware device. So I am online now. I am in the online mode. If you check here, this start button is enabled. So if I remove the or unplug the tool, let's say I have unplugged the tool. So this bar will go disappear. I mean, it would throw error that the specific tool is disconnected, right? So I will, and again, you can also see the error. So what I will do, I will plug it again. And if I run this, so it should not show any errors, right? So always remember, I'll come to, always I'll go to the analysis and simulation, then measurement setup, and here I can see the actual tool. So this is an actual hardware connected. This image means you have connected the actual hardware. If I unplug this, you see here it throws an error, not available, right? Or the not applicable. If I plug this, it shows it is connected. Yeah, so it is showing the baud rate. If I double click on this, it asks which baud rate you want. If I say 250 kbps, I can set the 250 kbps baud rate. And based on which channel are connected to which baud rate or which network, you have to configure the baud rate of your CAN tool. there is another option that scan. It automatically scans which tool is connected and what is the baud rate is. But if you are well known that my CAN tool is connected, uh, the port CAN1 is connected on the 250, you can set the 250. Sometimes you need to go to the drivers and check for the piggy, either the right piggy is connected or the not. So this is how the window looks. So here you should know that which hardware is connected. Then you can come for the piggy, then right click on that piggy specific piggy, and uh, based on you set the channels. But if you see here, already the CAN one is selected. That's what it is showing the CAN two. So here you see the CAN one is selected. So this is also important. Many times you connect the tool, but you get the error that the message are not receiving, though you have set the proper right baud rate. Sometimes the channel assignment goes wrong. So this step is very important when you come to the online. What you have to do, you have to make sure that which hardware you have connected, drop down that, and the first piggy and the second piggy. On the first piggy you have to right click on that. And if you are using the CANalyzer, if you are using the CAN App, if you are using the CAN OE, accordingly you have to set the CAN1, CAN2, CAN2 port. So here I already have assigned the CAN1, so that's what it is showing here, the CAN. It is not showing there. That's what here it is showing the channel one is assigned on this piggy. For the next piggy, you must make sure you must connect your channel to, or you must assign your channel to. That's what the channel 2 is missing here. You see here the channel 2. I can change that assignment as well. So what will happen? My this second piggy, that means the second channel will get connected to the channel 1, and accordingly you have to set the baud rate. So this driver option is very important. Sometimes though your network is correct, your wiring harness is correct, your termination resistance is correct, though you have connected the tool properly, you did not start receiving the messages. So that's the issue actually. So now I'm online. That's what here I'm in the online mode. Remember that this is a transmit branch. This is a transmit branch, as I covered in the earlier, that this is a transmit branch. This is the analysis branch where you can analyze the message. So what I will do now, I have connected a tool, but I am not in the actual network. So that means any issue is not active. So if I run this and if I come to again, I will go to the measurement setup and then test window. You know, no need. You cannot see any messages. The reason is you are not actually connected to the network. So what I'll do, I'll come here, I'll stop this, and with the help of interactive generator block, I will come here. You see here, what I have done on the hotspot, I right click. So here is a program node, channel filter, event filter, interactive generator block. So I will, in the separate session, I will cover on this. What is this program node, channel filter, and everything. Now we will focus on the interactive generator block. What is this interactive generator block? Interactive generator block means you can transmit any of the message into the network. If you have assigned the database file, you can pick that message on the database file. And remember that I have configured into this transmit branch. That means this CAN tool will transmit whatever the message I will configure here into the network. Okay, so let's start with the dummy message. What I will do, I will come here. So I don't have any CAN frame or something. So I will send a raw message. So let's start with that. Uh, just hold on a minute. Uh, okay, I don't have a, okay. So this is signal. Active generator block. Yep. Simulator block. Okay. I'm here. Mm, okay. I will add the CAN frame. So here is the option. So what I will do, instead of sending manual, I will make it periodic. I will send the periodicity of 100 millisecond. Here what I will do, you have to set CAN ID. So what is CAN identifier? I have covered in my last session where I covered details about the CAN fundamentals. So let's say my ID is 100. Okay, and these are the data I'm sending. Let's say I'm sending 1, then I'm sending 2, then I'm sending 3, sending 4. So whatever the data you want to send, you can send. But Remember that this is a dummy message, so I'm sending any message, any data in any message or with any identifier. But usually when you go online, you want to do something on the vehicle or into the system, you have to make sure that which can message you are pulling from the database and what data you are sending in that message. So I'll send this periodic message with the period setup 10 milliseconds. So let's start with this. So I just hit here, come here, and I will check in the trace window. So I don't see anything. The reason is I am not online yet. I have not started. So if I start, so it is throwing error. Okay. So that's what this error is there. So let's go back and check why the error is there. Okay. So I'll come here, then I will stop here, then here, and I will check. I'll stop this and why this error is there. Can data, this is right. TLC is 8. Yeah. So let's check trace window. Yeah, so that means we are not in the network. We have not terminated your properly network. So that's what this is throwing an error. If I send this, it is throwing error. It is not showing the actual message into the network, but you start receiving the message here, whatever message you are sending into the network if your network is terminated. So this is how you can go online and send your message from this interactive generator block. So ideally you can get all these messages into the network. So this is how the online mode works. And also if you want to log, you just have to double click on this hotspot and it will start logging that message. You can double click on this hotspot, it will stop logging that message. So this is how the interactive block, there are different blocks. The programming node where you can put the capital scripting, filter if you want to filter out specific channel like channel 1, channel 2, you can filter into the transmit branch. Then you can put the event filters, interactive generator block where you can simulate your message, right? So this is how you can do. So I will stop this and yeah, so this is all about the online mode. So till now, I have covered the online and offline mode for this CANalyzer tool. But if you look at the user interface, there are so many options are there, like measurement setup. Online, offline mode I have covered. The measurement setup is also I have covered where we are now. The database management also I have covered. Logging is also the same option. Here's the secure configuration. Trace window is this window, graphics window, data window, statistics window is there. But apart from that, there's a scope where you can add a specific signal, then GNSS monitor, video interface generator, automation is there. Again, there are different options, tools, hardware, and everything is there. But I'm gonna just cover the basics today, so I am not going to talk more in details. But this tool is capable where you can create the panels as well. In one of the next session, I will take you through how you can create the panel where you can show the dashboards of the users. Like if you want to create the panel for the vehicle, you can show the vehicle speed, you can show the switches, different switches. So that way it's possible with the help of this panel designer. Capel scripting, I talked here, the programming node, that's the Capel scripting. Database editor. With the help of this option, you can create the database file. Login, conversion, that here you can just right click on this and export file and you can convert the file. AutoSAR Explorer also is there. So with the help of that, you can do AutoSAR applications used for the AutoSAR application. So this tool is capable for the multiple uses, but I just covered you how you can make this tool for online usage, how you can use this tool for offline usage, how you can set the drivers, the baud rates, the filters, the interactive generator block. And I also talked on basics about the interfaces, the use of these analysis windows and the login. I hope this information would help you to start with because this video is explicitly for the beginners, but definitely it would be helpful for the intermediate as well as for the experts. So thanks for watching my video. And if you like my video, like my knowledge sharing sessions, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.